Okay guys, so I delivered that load of tire chips down to Ashdown, Arkansas a couple hours ago, but I did not film any because I've been there several times before. But now I'm here at the Certainty plant in Glenwood, Arkansas. I've picked up here a couple of times, but I don't remember if I filmed any footage. So here we are. They just started loading me. I told them I'd like 23¼ tons. This is called head lap. They put it on the upper portion of the roofing shingles, and it delivers to another Certainty plant down in Shreveport that I've delivered to once before. But I'm quite sure I did not film from there. There's another Oakley, a tanker truck right down there getting loaded. And so it's pretty simple here. You come in this way and you circle around and scale in over there, and there's a little office, and then they have you pull under here, and they've got a little cone here so you'll know where the center of your trailer is. And then once I get loaded, I'll pull back around, scale out, and then go up the hill and out of here. So it's pretty quick, kind of a small place. I think this is the only product they make. I'm not sure about that, but it seems to be. And nice folks here, always a quick load. So since they're loading it in the middle, it'll kind of settle out there, some front, some to the back. I'll watch my gauges here to make sure, you know, it's balancing out correctly, and I'll pull up or back up as needed if I need to shift some of the weight. Now this place in Shreveport I'm going to, it's kind of a slow unload. Last time I was there, it took me probably an hour and a half or so. It's slow. I'll try to show you some of it. But that's it, basically. Head lap. All right. So right now I'm showing about 17 in the back and about 18 in the front, so it's pretty even. I'll try to show you a view of it from inside the trailer once I get done. All right guys, let me see if I can give you a shot of this while it's getting loaded. There it is. I just pulled up a couple of feet to get more of it in the back. But this stuff is like sand. It's gonna settle once I start moving. So there's a shot from, you know, live loading. All right, more later. Okay, folks, so I'm a few miles gone from that Certainty pickup back there, Glenwood, Arkansas, headed to Shreveport to another Certainty plant. And I was gonna correct myself. I think earlier when I was filming some of the activity there, I mentioned that Oakley tanker truck was probably picking up the same product, but I asked the guy that was giving me my paperwork about that. He said no, that the tankers carry a product called I forget what he called it, but he said it was basically a waste product that they end up with there at the plant. And it's such a fine powder, it has to go in those tanker trucks, you know, and get blown out of there. But it's used in the, what do you say, asphalt, making asphalt. So, just wanted to clarify that. They do ship more than just this head lap product that I'm carrying. So this Certainty plant I'm going to in Shreveport, I delivered to there, you know, maybe 3-4 weeks ago. It's kind of a slow unload, and I'll try to show you that when I get there. hopefully there's no other trucks in front of me. But they don't even start unloading until after 3 p.m. is my understanding. They do have a lot there where you can park overnight if you need to, so that's good. But it's a slow unload because, you know, I'll tilt the trailer up and it'll unload like most roofing granule type product. It just slides out a little at a time from the little lift gate back there on the end of the trailer. But this place has a little conveyor belt that it falls onto, you know, and you can only dump it so fast or it kind of overflows the belt. So it's slower. You know, I delivered to a Certainty place last week from here in Ennis, Texas, and that was a pretty quick unload. You know, that dumped straight into a underground pit. It was pretty quick, but this place in Shreveport is slower than that. So we got that to look forward to. And I'm going to call, you know, my dispatcher Joey is on vacation this week, so I've been working through Shane, one of his, I think, supervisor. Don't know exactly what his title is. But I'm going to call him here in a half an hour or so and see if he knows where he's going to want me tomorrow morning. Probably Texarkana if I had to guess, but I'd like to know that, so because I'll get going in the morning before those guys get to work. So I'd like to have my next load assignment if at all possible. So we're coming into the actual town of Glenwood. Just give you a little peek of this before I turn the camera off. There was some homemade, I don't know, those chicken houses back there or cattle feeders. I didn't notice. Alright, so we got to make a couple of turns through town here. It's kind of a back road trip for the, you know, hour and a half or so to get back to the freeway. Then it's a pretty easy trip. You know, I got to get on I-30 for a little while, and then I-49 take me down to Shreveport from Texarkana. All right, more later. Okay, guys, so I'm here at the Certainty plant in Shreveport, Louisiana. Just checked in with the unloader over there. You can see there's an Oakley truck ahead that's just wrapping it up, letting his trailer down. And there's a truck full of pallets over here to my right, past this on the other side of this railroad car that you can't really see. The unloader told me to back up a little bit, so this guy carrying pallets, he's probably going to need to pull in here where I am and then back in behind that white Oakley truck. Then once he gets that done, I can back up into the spot where the Oakley truck is leaving right now. So that's what's happening. So it timed out pretty good. The last time I delivered here, the only time I've ever delivered here, about a month ago, there was another Oakley truck that had just started. And it took him an hour to unload. He was having trouble with his PTO. Every time he would raise his truck up, his PTO would slowly release back down. So he kept having to go back and forth to the truck. So there's the pallet truck there. He's gonna pull into here and then back up. So let me back up a little more, make sure he's got plenty of room. But that's how it's gonna work. I'll probably keep my tarp on because it's been raining a lot on the trip down here. It's not raining at the moment, but it's been raining a lot the past couple hours. And I know they don't want this product to get wet, so they'll probably want me to keep the tarp on, and then we'll just open up the slide door on the back and let it out. I'll try to film you some of this so you can see how it works, if the guy doesn't mind. And my next order is going to be picking up here in Shreveport at a Bruce Oakley terminal on the, I think the Red River, picking up some fertilizer. I've never been there, so I don't know anything about it. So you can see right there, I'm going to back up right beside those orange cones so that the product will unload onto that little conveyor belt. Alright, so here's a look of the place. They got lots of roofing shingles stored out here in the yard. I can see them everywhere. Alright, well, that's what we're doing. I'll try to show you some more in a minute. Okay guys, so I'm backed into position here. Trailer's up and the product is dumping out. Doc, my unloader, who's in this office here, he just, you go in there and he signs you in and gives you your paperwork back. But here's how it's working. I'm trying to talk fast because this battery's about to go dead. You can see I kept my tarp on because it has been raining. And it's dumping out right here onto this conveyor belt. And then it goes up here and dumps into this conveyor belt going perpendicular. And then it goes in here to their processing area. They've got a little grate here. They don't want the product getting higher than that grate. So if it does, I gotta shut my door a little bit to slow down the product coming out. See it dumping out there. A lot of conveyors, But that's how it works. This will probably take about 40 minutes, he said. Just giving you a look of the ground. I don't know how all this works, but I got a lot of cylinder bends over here. So anyway, that's a good look of the unload process. I'm supposed to stand here and just kind of watch and make sure the product, you know, if this belt stops, I got to shut my door quick before we get a big mess here. And then I got to watch it over there to make sure it's not coming out too fast. So that's basically it. Probably take another half hour or so. And then once it gets to the end, they got some tools here. They got these, I call them hose. I don't know what they're really called, but you can use these, open your door up, and you know, tilt the trailer back down, and then use those tools to kind of angle up and scrape out what's left in the corners. And then I'll hop in at some point and sweep it out. So tomorrow morning I'm going to, there's a Bruce Oakley port. I looked it up on the map. It's about just a few miles from here. I don't know, 10 miles maybe from here. And I'm getting a load of fertilizer going to Gilmer, Texas. Then I think I'm going back to Glenwood, Arkansas, where I got this product, and coming back here. So it's kind of cool. I know kind of how my day is going to go tomorrow. And Doc in there said that I could park as long as I leave by 6:30. I can park. They got a lot right over there, kind of on the other side of the railroad track, a little farther over that way, with a porta potty. That's it. And I can camp out over there as long as I get out of there by 6:30, because then they have flatbeds coming in to pick up roofing shingle loads. All right, that's it for now. Okay guys, hey, welcome to Tuesday morning. I'm here at the Oakley, that sign on the building says Bruce Oakley, Louisiana Incorporated. We're at the port here in Shreveport, on the Red River. You can see it straight ahead there maybe. So I camped out here, me and another Oakley driver parked right here. I just went inside the building and told him I'd never been here before. How's it work? She said get on the scale and then come back in and she'll get me checked in. And this is basically a fertilizer distribution hub, I believe. Supposedly I'm picking up potash, taking it to Gilmer, Texas. All right, so we're on the scale. You can see some of the loading points straight ahead there. Okay, let me go check in. Okay, so I've checked in. She told me to pull up to the middle loading point here. And I am getting potash. She said it's, you know, in kind of granulized form. There's a guy in the front end loader over here driving along the warehouse. I'll have to get out and tell him how much I want. And then I'll have to, you know, kind of like getting the roofing material, I'll have to move the truck as I want to position products in the trailer and watch my gauges. So I'm just going to place this loader here right in the middle for starters. That seems to work pretty good. All right. It's kind of hard to tell the position from in here, but I may have to get out and look. All right, let me get out and talk to him. Okay guys, so my loader just dumped the first load into that hopper there, and the belt's carrying it into the truck. Kind of orange colored or rust colored. I was expecting potash to be more of a dark. Checking my position here. It's a little front of center, but I'll move it. Pretty level platform here, so it should read pretty good. All right, so here he comes with another one, and there goes the next Oakley guy. I guess he's loading up there. We get my gauges opened here. All right, there he goes, dumping some more in. All right, there it comes. All right, that's how it works. Okay, folks. Hey, we got a beautiful Sunday morning here. I'm home for the weekend, but wanted to, let me adjust this a little bit. Wanted to kind of do a little catch-up, recap on some things. I haven't done as much footage the last few weeks because we've had some computer problems, software problems. And my son that helps me with the videos started a new job, so he's been extra busy. So a lot of things. So I just wanted to do a little discussion here on a couple of topics that people have brought to my attention recently. I was talking to a guy just a few days ago actually that asked me about, everything from getting a truck, buying your own truck, to making the change from employee driver to driving for Oakley. So I wanted to touch on that a little bit because, I've been doing this as an owner-operator for Oakley now for pushing 6 months. So it's been a little while, enough time to kind of start getting some opinions put together. So let's go over that real quick. I get a lot of questions from guys asking me about buying a truck, and there's some confusion out there about, whether Oakley, you can lease or buy a truck through Oakley, and I want to clear that up. You cannot is the answer. To drive for Oakley, you know, Oakley only uses owner-operators. They do not lease you a truck, sell you a truck. You're not an employee driver. All of their drivers are owner-operators. And you got to have at least 2 years of experience. So hopefully, you know, that clears things up a little bit. So what I did, you know, when I got my CDL, I signed on with Maverick because Maverick will hire you with no experience. You know, I had just got my CDL, had no experience. You know, I was making a career change from the newspaper industry into truck driving, and I live about 8 miles from the main Maverick yard, so it was a great opportunity for me. And I'm still a big fan of Maverick. For any of you guys that are looking to getting into the business, just got your CDL, you need experience, or maybe you're looking at getting your CDL, Maverick now has its own school right there on their property where you can get your CDL right through them and then go straight into driving. But yeah, I still recommend Maverick. You know, if you need to get some experience, you're a fresh CDL holder, check out Maverick. They'll put you, you know, they have good freight, good training. They'll put you in a good truck, you know, that's probably a year or 2 old, and you'll make good money. And then once you get some experience, you'll have more options. And that's what I did. You know, I drove for Maverick for over 3 years, 3.5 years before I decided to try to get my own truck, because it's not easy. In fact, I was just unloading at a barge over at the Oakley yard here in North Little Rock a few days ago, and there was a young fellow there was telling me about his goals. You know, he's going to try to, you know, get his CDL, wants to get his own truck and all that. So he was asking me a lot of questions. But it's, you know, it's not an easy thing to make that jump from being an employee driver where everything's taken care of, you're driving their equipment, to buying your own truck. You know, these trucks are very expensive. But anyway, that's the main difference. If you're looking at Oakley, you got to have at least 2 years experience. You got to own your own truck. In my case, you know, I bought a used truck and immediately signed on with Oakley. You know, I just finally decided to buy my own truck, did that, signed on with Oakley. All happened very fast. And I'm still about 8 miles from the Oakley yard in North Little Rock, so it's all still very convenient. I park there on the weekends just like I did at Maverick. So in that regard, it's still very convenient for me. Now let's talk about some of the differences. For starters, you know, the money is better. For sure. You know, I mean, as a new driver with Maverick, the money was good too. I was pretty satisfied with the money, but I could see that as an owner operator with Oakley, the money was much better, and it is. I did an average. I don't have any paperwork with me, but I did an average of the past 7 or 8 weeks the other day, and my net bring home with Oakley currently is running between $3,500 and $3,600 per week. You know, we get paid every Friday. Again, we're not employee drivers, we're owner operators, we're self-employed. So, you know, that's my net. You know, that's what they give me on Friday as my net settlement pay. Now, what I have to do with that is save money, you know, for my truck payment. My truck payment's about $2,150 a month, just for those of you that are curious. And, you know, I have to do all the maintenance on my truck. I do have an extended warranty, but, you know, I have to do all the maintenance. You know, I have to keep the truck running, tires, brakes, everything. So I have to save money for that. Very important. And I have to save money for my taxes. You know, Oakley doesn't take any money out for taxes, so you're on your own there. So that's the big difference. You know, you have to be disciplined, and because you're definitely bringing in a lot more money. You know, with Maverick, I would say on an average week, you know, I'd be bringing home maybe that's $1,500 a week. You know, it might be less, might be more. 1,600 bucks a week. So now, you know, I've basically more than doubled that, but I still have to save money and make my own truck payment, maintenance, and pay my taxes. So you got to look at all that. But definitely I'm making more money for sure. What else? I like the freight lanes that I'm running with Oakley better. You know, with Maverick, I did a lot of runs from here or in this area up north, you know, to Michigan. A lot of runs to Michigan. And with Oakley, I tend to, now I have been up to Michigan and up north with Oakley, but mostly I'm running a tighter region to where I live, you know, more south, you know, a lot of Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Kentucky, you know, just a more southern region, and I like that. You know, I don't get spread out as far. And they keep me moving. You know, they keep me moving. I enjoy a little as far as the equipment goes. I like that my truck, you know, is not equipped with all those extra gadgets. And you know, I'm not all messed up about that, but with Maverick, you know, they were starting to install, you know, the driver-facing cameras, which I'm not a big fan of. I understand why they do it, but I don't like it. Oakley, we're not required to do that. We only have the outward-facing cameras, you know, for, you know, footage in case of accidents type of thing. You know, and Maverick was putting those exterior swing cameras above the doors. I forget what they called that. You know, and you had a screen, a display screen on each side of the cab. Excuse those roosters. Wasn't a big fan of those. You know, it mostly just, I felt like my vision was limited because of those interior display screens. Some people liked it. I wasn't a big fan. No big deals. I'm just giving you some of the differences. And with the trailers, you know, with Maverick, we swapped trailers a lot because we were maybe picking up preloaded trailers, so we'd have to drop the trailer we had, get the new preloaded trailer, or we were swapping loads with another driver. So you never really kept the same trailer probably more than 2 or 3 weeks normally. And the trailers had a lot of problems, especially with the ABS. The ABS lights were notorious with the Maverick trailers. Just, you know, more problems. At Oakley, I've had the same trailer the whole time. You know, I got assigned a trailer. I've had it the whole time except for maybe 2 or 3 days where they had me doing local runs here. Like the other day, I dropped my trailer and picked up one of their specialty heavy-duty metal trailers, you know, that were not aluminum. It was a heavier duty for hauling bigger loads of scrap metal and dumping it onto the barge here at the Oakley North Little Rock yard. So I've had to do that 2 or 3 times maybe, but still, when I'm done with that, you know, that was usually just a 1-day gig. After that, I would switch back to my normal trailer. So I can still get my trailer maintenance done here at the North Little Rock Oakley yard. at the shop. Excuse me. So yeah, the trailers don't have as many problems with the trailers. Let's just put it that way. And you don't have to swap trailers nearly as often, if at all. So that's good. But yeah, it's all good. You know, a little more freedom with Maverick. You know, our loads were just assigned. We didn't have a whole lot of say about it unless you were with their independent contractor division, which I was not. I was just an employee driver, so I basically had to take the loads as they were assigned. But with Oakley being an independent owner-operator, you know, it's more of a discussion with the dispatcher. You know, they don't just assign you the loads without any discussion. You know, we always talk before they send us the loads. You know, so yeah, I get to kind of discuss it if I want to with my dispatcher, and you know, I don't have to take the load. So far I've never rejected a load. They've never tried to give me something that I wouldn't do or didn't want to do. But I do appreciate that there's some discussion there. And another thing, I was talking to another Oakley driver last week about this, but I've noticed that now they get me home every weekend, which is what I like to do. If you want to stay out longer, you can, but I like the cycle of getting home every weekend. But my weeks and my days are less difficult, and I don't work as many hours per day usually, or per week. You know, it's normal for me to have 10 to 20 hours left on my 70-hour clock each week. You know, probably more like 15. You know, so the weeks are easier and my weekends are longer. You know, I usually get home on Friday and I usually leave out on Monday morning. Occasionally I'll leave out on Sunday, but you know, so my weekends are longer. With Maverick, you know, if I got home on Friday, I was probably leaving out on Sunday morning. Sometimes I'd get home on Saturday and then probably leave out on Monday morning, but definitely the weekend, the off time is better with Oakley. And that's mainly because, you know, I probably spend a good 10 hours a week or better, or spend less time, 10 hours or more, getting loaded and unloaded. You know, with flatbedding, with Maverick, you know, you wait and you've got to get loaded, you got to do securing, you maybe have to do the tarping, or on the delivery side you've got, you know, unloading, you know, the untarping, unsecuring. That all takes time, you know, that you're really not getting paid for. There is some detention involved after 2 hours, but you know, the more time you're doing that, you're not making any money. With Oakley, usually I'm in and out of a place in less than an hour. Sometimes, you know, 30 or 45 minutes, you know, so it's over multiple loads per week. You know, that adds up. You know, with the flatbedding, you might be at a place for 2, 3, 4 hours, or worse. With Oakley, you know, it's usually pretty quick. You know, the pickup and the deliveries are quicker. So I end up spending, you know, like I said, you know, probably 10 to 15 hours a week less just because of that. So that's cool, and that makes for shorter, easier weeks, days, and better weekends. And I'm making considerably more money, so that's all good. I like all that. I'm happy with my dispatching, you know, the office crew. The crew at Oakley is very helpful. You know, they take care of all the paperwork and legal issues and all of that kind of stuff. So that's good. Everything's good with that. So There's probably some other stuff I wanted to hit on, but I'm just going by the seat of my pants here. I don't have a piece of paper here with topics. I'm just trying to talk about this stuff while I've got room on a video. So yeah, let's see where I'm going next. And I've skipped through a lot of loads over the past 3 or 4 weeks, you know, just kind of hit and miss because we've had equipment problems and other things going on. So what I'm doing right now is Friday, a couple days ago, I got home on Friday morning pretty early, and they had me get a different trailer, and I went to, there was 7 of us Oakley drivers. We went to a local metal scrap yard here in North Little Rock, and we did loads back and forth to a barge right there at the Oakley yard. And we just, you know, you could do a load in 35 minutes, so 30 or 40 minutes, you know, something like that, just back and forth. There's just, you know, we get paid percentage on those loads because it was, you know, it's like a 5-mile run, the whole thing each time. But I did 9 of those trips on Friday, so I'm empty, and I have a dental appointment first thing Monday morning. So after that, I'll be going out to the yard, hooking back up to my trailer, and he's already sent me my next order. I'm picking up at All Tech Recycling right here in North Little Rock, and then going to Gadsden, Alabama. So that's what's in store for this coming week. So I'll pick that up Monday morning sometime, hit the road, get part of the way there Monday, and then deliver it Tuesday morning, and then we'll see what happens from there. But okay, that's it for now. More later.